Divorcing a narcissist. It's like a never-ending shit show. Hi, I'm Kay. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just someone who went through years of emotional abuse and a high conflict divorce with a narcissistic ex. So I'm here to share just a little bit of what I know and what it is to, to go through a divorce with a narcissist. And if you're going through the same, be prepared. Be prepared for the long run because the shit show never ends. I'm serious. It just never ends. It just feels like a hamster, like you're a hamster in a hamster wheel. You're never getting anywhere. Whenever you think you're making progress, you're stuck in the same place. You know, I have been divorced for 4 years, separated for 5, and today it felt like I traveled back in time to 2020 when I first got separated. My ex called me a narcissist again, which is fascinating that he did that because 3 weeks ago we got the results from a very thorough psychological evaluation ordered by the court on both of us. And it was a psychological evaluation insisted mainly by him because he wanted to prove that I was a narcissist and I'm mentally unstable, right? So the results came in 3 weeks ago. And boy, was he shocked. Um, he was shocked more than me because I was diagnosed with PTSD, but I already knew that, right? I have complex PTSD because of all this that I've been through. Um, but he got diagnosed as a narcissist and a sadist. Two things, right? Immediately, obviously, his first reaction was to attack the doctor. He knows nothing. He's not qualified. Second reaction, I think it was, he fired his attorney and hired a new one, a more expensive one, because that's how narcissists are, right? It's never their fault. There cannot be nothing wrong with them, you know? So that tells me what has really changed. Almost nothing, you know? Because if today he called me a narcissist, which is what he used to call me at the beginning, of this separation, it's like being on day one. And that's the part that no one tells you. So be prepared for the long run, and be prepared for the long run. And I'm just, be always in alert with them, right? Always keep receipts. I wish I had some of this advice sooner, at the start of my divorce, because in all honesty, I did so many mistakes. Everything I did pretty much everything you don't have to do when divorcing a narcissist, I did. But you know what? It is what it is, right? So I just don't want you guys to do the same mistake, right? So, but anyway, so yeah, it was shocking that today, I mean, the one that he got flagged with serious issues is again here calling me a narcissist. And he says it with such conviction that he's rewriting history, which is what they do, If reality doesn't align to their, to their reality, or right, if reality doesn't like to the way they think, then they rewrite, they write their own reality and they believe it. Trust me, they believe it. That's why they are so convincing when they lie. So, but anyways, it was very frustrating to me today, because I want this to be over. It's just like I'm so tired of this. It's like I want peace, right? And I realized it's not gonna happen. I just, I just need to learn how to deal with it. And it messed with my head a lot because I mean, it got to a point that from being called so much a narcissist, I actually thought I was one. I even took myself to the therapist so she could properly diagnose me. I swear, I was convinced I was a narcissist because he would call me so much that. But she said I wasn't. So I realized that she explained to me, and I started reading about it, and I realized I'm not one, right? And that's what happens though, and I bet it happens to a lot of you guys because they project, right? So they call you the narcissist, and then you start thinking, what if I'm the problem? What if what if it's me and it's not him? That happens. But trust me, it's not you. If you're asking yourself those questions, it's not you. Right? That's projection. It's them projecting on you, right? And projection is when someone takes what they're doing and slaps the label on you instead, right? They lie and suddenly you're the liar. And because they're such good liars and because they know what to say and they right, they're good manipulators, a lot of people believe them, and it's very frustrating, right? And this type of behavior is abusive. It's cruel, you know, making you think that you're the abusive one, but you're not. They twist the facts constantly to a point that you can't even keep track. I couldn't even keep track of all the stuff he would say because how can I? You know, it was coming from everywhere. Um, and I don't know. It does impact you. It impacts you because you start feeling invisible and you start feeling like you don't matter. Because people start treating you like you're making things up, like you're lying. Because since he's so credible, right? Credible. Yeah. And don't do this if you're going through this divorce. Before I forget, don't get emotional. Do not get emotional. It's the worst thing you can do. My gosh, it's like they hate that. I'm not kidding. God forbid you show you're human. You're screwed. They will label that. They will label you as that mentally unstable, and you're done, dude. Yeah, it's hard to get out of that, and that's what happened to me because of my PTSD, which at the time I didn't know that's what I had. I couldn't stop crying. I would cry everywhere, and it was just. I still cry. I still don't have the crying under control. I, like so yeah, I guess in a way I am mentally unstable because PTSD is a mental disease, I guess, right? But I'm not that type of mentally unstable. That's a different type of mentally unstable. Mine can be cured with self-care, medicine, and just going to therapy, right, to overcome the abuse. But he has can't, right? It's different. But anyway, so yeah, don't do that. Listen to your attorney also. Listen, I know how frustrating it is, and don't expect much from the court either. Trust me, don't. It's that whole system is broken. In all honesty, don't expect fairness too, because most times there's no fairness, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. They play dirty, very dirty, and they lie. You know, and 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 the part that's frustrating is like when if you lose your shit and stuff, because you will. It's a tough process out of the frustration stuff. Then that carries also shame because they're like people don't understand. They just see the reaction. They don't understand why you're reacting like that because the other one is so composed. They don't see what he's doing behind doors. They don't know what all the stuff he does. They don't, they only see your reaction, right? I started being tough with myself also with the labels because they, like I said, they start labeling you and things, but don't do that to yourself. Be kind to yourself. You're going through a tough time, right? And just know that your truth is your truth and it matters. Okay. Don't question yourself. I think that a lot. If you think he's abusing, I mean, abuse is abuse. It's very clear. You know what abuse is. This is a no-brainer. And if it comes across like that, and if you're thinking about it, then it is abuse. So and especially if he's doing that of projecting and actually trying to make it sound like it's you, the one that's doing all this stuff. Yeah. So. Like I said, listen to your attorney and keep all your receipts, keep all the tabs, right? But anyway, so if you're asking yourself, am I a narcissist? That's an indicator that you definitely are not. They lack self-awareness. My ex still, even with the diagnosis, he still is blaming me. He's still calling me one, he denies everything. Like even when I present proof in his face, like documents, like court documents where he's like perjured himself, he still says I didn't say that. No, I mean, I have the, it's here. It's written down here. And no, so it's very interesting in a way. The ability they have to lie to themselves. I could not be able to do that, but that's what they do, right? Don't overanalyze yourself either, right? So they try to make themselves feel like the victim, that you made them miserable and so much stuff to make you feel guilty, right? Be able to read all these patterns, right? It's just projection, right? Don't let him make you think that all that stuff, right? And people from outside, oh my gosh, I ended up just distancing myself from so many people out of frustration, because I can't believe how many are just so gullible, you know, like, and it's just, I just didn't want to be around anybody associated with anybody that had anything to do with this abuser. That was just me, you know, and just because I was going through such a tough time too, I still want to be left alone. I mean, I used to not be like that. I used to be always around people and things, and I'm scared now. I'm scared. There's part of shame also. It's tough, you know, and then there's things that I've lost a lot in this process because of him. And unfortunately, the truth is, certain things, there's no way back. You won't get back. So certain things you've lost, and you just have to accept that things are how they are. And sometimes that is tough. See, I'm already starting to cry, and I don't want to cry, right? So yeah, if you can, just don't distance yourself. Try to stay around people that care for you, right? Your support system, right? So that's pretty much my my advice, or my 2 cents when it comes to divorcing a narcissist, right? Just be ready for the long run, and don't expect a lot of manipulation. Not always everything's gonna be done right. That's the truth, you know. But anyways, I'll see you guys another time.